The silent witnesses. Reconstructing ancient lives, the language of bone underneath the soil of ancient battlefields, forgotten cemeteries, and collapsed dwellings, lies a biological archive. To the untrained eye, these are just fragments of calcium and collagen, but to a forensic archaeologist, they are the ultimate witnesses. Every person carries their life story in their skeleton. The food you ate as a child, the heavy lifting you did in your 20s, the diseases you fought, and the final moments of your life, all of it is etched into your bone. Today, we are going deeper than just identifying who someone was. We are reconstructing how they lived. Welcome to the world of forensic archaeology, the scene and the soil. Reconstruction doesn't begin in the lab, it begins in the dirt. Unlike traditional archaeology, which may focus on artifacts or structures, forensic archaeology treats the entire site as a crime scene. The first step is contextual analysis. The position of the body tells us about the culture and the circumstances of death. Is the body laid out carefully in a shroud? That speaks to a community that cared for its dead. Is it sprawled haphazardly in a shallow pit? That suggests haste, concealment, or perhaps a mass casualty event. Archaeologists use a process called pedalasia, study of soil. Changes in soil pH can tell us how long a body has been buried, while the presence of specific pollen grains can reveal the season of death. Was it a spring burial, when the flowers were in bloom, or a harsh winter interment? The earth holds the clock. The biological profile. Once the remains are cleaned and laid out in the lab, the biological profile begins. This is the foundation of reconstruction. The skull and pelvis. These are the most diagnostic tools. The pelvis is the most reliable indicator of biological sex, while the skull, specifically the brow ridge, jawline, and mastoid process, provides secondary confirmation. Age estimation. For children, we look at tooth eruption and the fusion of growth plates, known as EP. For adults, we look at the wear on the teeth and the degeneration of the joints, particularly the pubic symphysis. Ancestry and stature. By measuring the long bones, the femur and humerus, we can use mathematical formulas to calculate exactly how tall a person was in life. But the profile is just the skeleton of the story. To add the flesh, we look at biogeochemistry. You are what you eat. Isotope Analysis. This is where the science feels like magic. Through stable isotope analysis, we can literally track a person's movements across a continent. We look at strontium and oxygen isotopes trapped in the tooth enamel. Enamel forms in childhood and never changes. Because different geographic regions have unique isotopic signatures in the water and soil, we can tell if a person died where they were born or if they were a migrant. Carbon and nitrogen isotopes tell us about diet. Was this person an elite who ate meat and imported grains, or a laborer living on a monotonous diet of local plants? We can even see if a person's diet changed suddenly, perhaps indicating they were captured or moved into a higher social class. Trauma and paleopathology now. We look for the scars of life. Paleopathology is the study of ancient diseases. Bone is a living tissue that reacts to stress. Osteoarthritis tells us about repetitive labor. A weaver will have different joint wear than a blacksmith. Harris lines and enamel hypoplasia act like a biological barcode of childhood stress, revealing periods of famine or severe illness. Then, there is the perimortem trauma injuries that happened at or near the time of death. Forensic archaeologists can distinguish between a wound that was healing and a blow that was fatal. We can see the angle of a sword strike, the force of a blunt object, or the telltale signs of a defensive wound on the forearms. Conclusion. Giving the dead a voice. When we combine all these fields, osteology, chemistry, and pathology, the remains become a person. We no longer see a nameless skeleton. We see a 35-year-old woman who migrated from the mountains, who survived a period of famine as a child, who spent her life grinding grain, and who died in the late autumn. Forensic archaeology is more than just a study of the past. It is an act of restoration. It gives a voice back to those who were silenced by time, proving that while the flesh may wither, the story of a life is written in bone. The past is never truly gone. It's just waiting to be read.